Hi, I'm Dr. Go. If you're new to my channel, I've been a professional violinist for close to 30 years, be it as a soloist, as a chamber musician, as a professional orchestra musician, as an associate professor, so on and so forth. The topic of today's video are exercises that are either beneficial or not beneficial for the performing violinist. So, some general things out of the way first. For those of you who have not led an active lifestyle, please check with a physician or a professional doctor, maybe a general practitioner, before you start any exercise regimen, just to make sure that your body can handle any new physical activities. Yes? That being said, here are some general things to look out for as a violinist. If you are working on things that are technically demanding, or if your warm-up is very technically demanding, for example, I know a lot of people do an hour of scales, double stops, arpeggios, and such before they start their practice regimen. In such cases, it is important to not overwork certain areas of our body. For example, dumbbell flies for the chest, for the outside chest, where we really stretch the pectoral muscles. They put a lot of stress on the inner parts of the forearms, especially if we do them correctly. Now, it's not to say that we shouldn't do those, but we should do them with moderation. I know a lot of people will do them correctly with the correct amount and do it maybe once per week. That's okay. But if you're doing a very rigorous practice regimen, and if you're doing dumbbell flies like full pyramids or something like this for 2 or 3 times a week, it's a bit much. You can start to develop tendonitis, you can overstress the nerves, and even weightlifters who are not violinists, who are not instrument players, will tell you that if you're doing exercise too much, your nerves need time to recover, and it could have a negative effect on your nerves, on your tendons and such. So it's best to practice moderation on dumbbell flies, any skull crushers also, anything that puts undue stress on the underside, the palm side of the forearm. You want to limit the amount that you do for these. Likewise, anything that does a lot of small repetitive motions should probably be avoided. For example, some people for building the forearm, they will do forearm curls using a dumbbell, curling dumbbell back and forth like this, but of course, at a more vertically challenging position. Doing that more than once a week for a full pyramid set is not recommended. Once per week, that's good enough. But honestly speaking, I really do not believe in that exercise very much if you are a performing violinist. I'm sure there are people that are doing that very well, but it's a bit risky. Better ones for building the forearm without risking that are, for example, holding the dumbbell, holding a 45-degree angle downwards, and just twisting the dumbbell to get the forearm activation. Now, let's go to things that are beneficial. And by the way, this is by no means a deep, exhaustive discussion. These are just general observations for people to begin their own experimentation on what works for their bodies. So, things that have been proven to work very well. Swimming, just gentle swimming has been good. Yoga has been shown to be very good. A little sidetrack here. There are some exercises that are weight-bearing that cross the line between weightlifting and calisthenics. For example, push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, so on and so forth. In the case of push-ups, because we are violinists, like I said, we don't want to put undue pressure here. Push-ups, a lot of people will tend to do them with incorrect form. Make sure your form is correct. And even when you do correct form, if you're going to do push-ups like every day, something like, I do them. I don't do them on the palms of my hands because that puts undue stress. It causes you see, it goes back. So in order to avoid that, I do them with my knuckles. Of course, I'm from Kyokushinkai Karate, so I always do knuckle push-ups anyway, but on these two knuckles, never on the whole fist because it puts the wrist at a weird angle. Now, for those who are not used to this, it hurts. Anything that hurts, you should try to avoid. Okay, now in my case, of course, I'm a karate guy, so I do them. But for those who are uninitiated, I don't recommend you just grin and bear the pain. No, on the contrary, put something soft to absorb the weight of your body. For example, pillows or something on the floor, or some sort of mat, yoga mats, like 2 or 3 ply of yoga mat works really well. And again, push-ups, just 2 knuckles, not the whole hand because it puts your wrist at a weird angle, 2 knuckles, okay? And I do advise the hands in this position, not so much this for a violinist. This one is much better. For those who cannot do a push-up, don't worry about this. You don't need this anyway. This is just for those of us who do push-ups. For sit-ups, please be careful. Make sure your form is good. I see a lot of people curl too much. Their lower back goes into basically the shape of a snail. Too much. Over time, it has been shown to hurt a lot of people in their lower back from doing too many and curling up too much. If you see the guys doing a lot of sit-ups, but with weight, you'll see they're doing a really good form, activating all the muscles. The elbows go to the knees. They don't go down into the hips. Their heads don't roll down. Please make sure you find somebody like a professional trainer to help you work on your form. Even if you're already a fitness professional, it's always good to get another opinion, an outside person to check your form, just to make sure. We can always keep learning and improving. So with that being said, I hope I've given some ideas on things to try or things to avoid in order to avoid injury and extend the lifetime of those of us who are exercising and trying to play the violin, whether it be it as a professional or playing for our own self-enrichment. We should always take our expressive outlets very seriously because, let's face it, we're human beings. Without expression, without an expressive outlet, we don't have anywhere to process the problems, process the things that happen in our world, in our lives. So, that being said, I wish all of you a wonderful time on this journey that we take with this incredible instrument, the violin. Cheers.